I'm Debbie Godfrey. Welcome to the Positive Parenting PEP Talks podcast.
Today I want to talk about what to do when your kids are fighting. So many parents have been complaining about this lately. Why are they fighting all the time? Why are they always hitting each other? I don't hit them. Why don't they just do what they're supposed to do? And unfortunately, kids fighting is very common. It's normal. And even if we're extremely peaceful parents, then the kids are still going to fight. It's one of the ways they learn how to do relationships. It's how they learn to work things out. And so it's something that we all, if we have more than one child, are going to have to deal with. And even if you have only one child, you'll find that that your child will fight with their friends in the same way they'll fight with siblings, especially play dates that you have on a frequent basis. They'll still get into arguments. So many of these ideas will apply there as well. And one of the things we first need to know is why they fight. Or I guess the best way to look at this is not why they fight. They're not trying to make our lives miserable. Although one of the biggest goodies that kids get when they fight is to see the show that mom and dad put on when they come in and try to manage these fights. And our mistake is that we try to be judge, jury, and executioner. We come in and we're like, who did it? Who started it? Whose toy is that? How, you take this, you do that, and we come in and we direct the whole thing. And unfortunately, that robs the kids of the opportunity to learn how to negotiate their fights. So the first thing you want to do is start getting yourself out of the middle of their fights. So when they're fighting, they often do need you, but they need you as a mediator, not as the judge, jury, and executioner. So as a mediator, you're going to enter a fight as a calming, peacemaking influence. So you'll enter the situation and observe, just watch them with no attachment to, having to do anything at all. Now, of course, if you've got one that's physically assaulting the other one, you may feel the need to physically separate them. And again, use your judgment, because sometimes kids do need to duke it out a little bit in order to get things settled. And you as a parent are going to have to decide how much of that you can manage and how much of that you're just not going to tolerate. And it's different for every family and for every parent. So once you enter the situation and then you observe what's going on, you just want to make comments about it. Wow, it looks like there's two kids and one toy, and the two of you aren't seeming to successfully figure out how to work this out. Can I make some suggestions to you? And see if they're open to that. Or when you come into the situation, you can say, wow, it looks like there's two kids and one feels like the victim and one feels like the bully. And maybe the two of you need to learn how to play a little nicer together. Or if they come tattling and yelling to you, you could say something like, sounds like that's something that you need to handle with your sister. Would you like me to go and see if I can help you work that out? Now, if you can get them into some verbal exchange, it'll be really helpful to get them talking to each other. Often one of them will say, Mom, she took my toy. And then we start engaging with that child. Whereas it's more effective if they say, Mom, she took my toy, to say, it sounds like you need to tell her that and get her to say, you took my, I don't like it when you take my toy. And the other one will say, but she, and say, well, tell her. And so direct them to start talking to each other. And another thing is to enter the fight and just say, it looks like the two of you need to work that out, and leave the situation. And oftentimes when they're left to it, they can definitely do it. So this topic obviously cannot be handled in 3 minutes or less, and I will definitely talk more about it in the future. But for today, see if you can be a mediator rather than a judge, jury, and executioner. Have a great day and a happy parenting.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Positive Parenting PEP Talks podcast. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Debbie Godfrey, owner and founder of positiveparenting.com. I hope you'll go and check out my website and follow me on Instagram and let me know about what you thought about today's episode. Did you learn something new? Were you able to do something different with your children? Did you have a success story? Those are my favorite to share. Let me know. Contact me. I'd love to hear from you. And also, what future topics would you be interested in hearing about on the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast? Thank you so much for being here and for all of your support. Take care and happy parenting.